So this video is going to look at our diet and the role of our diet, especially with relation to sport. First thing we're going to look at is what kilojoules are. Now, kilojoules are the energy we get from food, and we need kilojoules for absolutely everything we do, from growing, repairing, to doing all sorts of sporting activities like running, swimming, and walking. Now, when we're doing sport and when we're looking at our diet, we need to always consider the balance. So if we eat more food or we eat more energy than we use, then you're going to put on weight. However, if we use more energy than we consume through our food, then you're going to lose weight. Now, the average male needs about 2,500 calories a day, and the average female needs about 2,000 calories a day. However, this is going to depend on a lot of different things. Your age can affect it, your gender, so whether you're male or female, your height, so someone taller might need to consume more calories than someone who's smaller, and your lifestyle, so how much exercise you're doing. They're all going to have an effect on how many calories you need to eat per day. Now, the aim is to get a balanced diet, and a balanced diet should contain all different types of food, a mixture of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, but you should also have vegetables, fruit, and a lot of different vitamins and minerals in there as well. Now, there are a few reasons why we should have a balanced diet, because if we don't, and we're eating too many calories, that unused energy can get stored as fat, which could lead to obesity, which we've already previously looked at. But we also need enough energy to be available for our activities. So, on top of the exercise we're doing, you've also got to remember your body's going to need nutrients for energy, growth. We've got to stay hydrated. So there's a lot of reasons why we need a balanced diet. Now, there's 7 main food groups. We've got carbohydrates, fat, protein, fibers, vitamins, minerals, and water. And as part of this course, we need to understand what the role of each of these different food groups are. So within your diet, there should be a mixture of carbohydrates, fat, and protein. And these are the recommended percentages. So for carbohydrates, you should have about 55 to 60% of your diet. About 25 to 30% of your diet should be fat, which sounds high, but we do need fat to give us energy and for a lot of other roles in our diet. And also we need about 15 to 20% of protein. Now, a really important one is water. And water is important to prevent dehydration, because dehydration can affect our performance in sport in a number of ways. Firstly, if you don't have water, what can happen is it can make your blood thicken, because your blood is about 90% made of water. So if we don't have the water in our body, it's going to thicken up our blood, and that's called increased viscosity of our blood. And it slows down our blood, so we can't get oxygen to our muscles as quickly. It also slows down your reaction time, so you're going to have poor decision making. And it's also going to increase your heart rate, because your heart's having to work harder and harder to pump all the blood around your body, because it's thicker now that you're dehydrated. And also you've got more chance of getting muscle cramps. Now, we're going to look at these 7 food groups. Let's remind ourselves: carbohydrates, fats, proteins. These are called your macronutrients. These are the big nutrients. You might want to get that word down next to these 3. They're your macronutrients. And then we've got the small ones. They don't form a percentage of our diet, and they're called your micronutrients. So we've got the big 3 macronutrients here, and then we've got these micronutrients that make up the rest of our diet: vitamins, minerals, water, and fiber. So macro at the top and our micronutrients at the bottom. Now, carbohydrates, we've already said they have to make up 55 to 60% of our diet. And carbohydrates are the main source of energy for all types of exercise at all types of intensities. So whether we're doing it very light jog or high intensity sprint or playing a football match, carbohydrates are going to give us the most energy. Now, we've got 2 main types of carbohydrates: sugars and starches, and they both play really different roles. So sugars, we find them in fruits, in sweets, in cakes, and they give us a quick supply of energy. So some of you might have wine gums or some oranges at halftime in a football game, because they give you that quick burst of energy. But the only problem with these is things such as biscuits, cakes often contain a lot of fat in them as well. So the other type of foods carbohydrates have are starches. Now starches are found in vegetables, in breads, in pasta, and these give us a slow release of energy. So we need these when we're taking part in maybe a long distance run or playing a football match, because it's going to break down over a long period of time and give us a lot of energy. So it's really important as well to stock up on these after you do some sport, because you would use a lot of these to give you energy. Now we've also got fats. Fats provide us with energy and they actually give you a lot more energy than carbohydrates, but we can only use that energy at low intensity. So if you're going for a long, slow jog, then you'd use fats to burn, give you energy. We've got two main types of fat. We've got saturated fats, which come from animals. So that's things like butter. We've got unsaturated fats, which are our vegetable oils. So coming from olive oil, etc. Now, protein is another one of those macronutrients that we have to have in our diet. And these get broken down in our digestive system, and then they turn into something called amino acids. And amino acids can help build our muscles and help repair any damaged muscle. So their main job really is growth and repair of our muscles. They also give you a little bit of energy, but far, far less than carbohydrates and fats. So we've got different types of protein. We've got animal protein. We've got meat there. We can also get plant and vegetable protein from things like nuts and seeds. Right, vitamins and minerals. Now, these two are really, really important for the efficient working of our body systems and generally keeping us healthy. So vitamins are needed for things like good skin, healing, red blood cells, blood clotting, healthy teeth and bones, so an awful lot of different roles that keep us generally healthy. Now, minerals, again, are really important for our general health. But one specific one we're going to look at for sport is iron. Now, iron is important in making red blood cells. So if you don't have iron, then it can lead to something called anemia, which is going to make you really tired and affect your concentration. Now, iron's in a lot of foods, but the iron in meat is generally absorbed far more easily. So we've also got water, which is really, really important. Water is really helpful for transporting things around your body like nutrients, waste, hormones, your blood. And water makes up about half your body weight, and we need it to help control our body temperature as well. Now, water, one of its main roles is to prevent dehydration. Because like we said earlier, dehydration can result in a lot of different things, like blood thickening, increasing your heart rate, increasing your body temperature. Because remember, water is there to help regulate our body temperature. So if we don't have water, we can't control our temperature. Our reaction times get a lot slower, and we're also more likely to get muscle fatigue and muscle cramps. So this graph here is really interesting. So it shows what happens at the bottom here, how dehydrated you are. So we've got from 0% dehydrated. That means we're going to be completely hydrated, and our performance is at 100%. But as we get more and more dehydrated, our performance starts to drop. So if we're, let's say, 2% dehydrated, then our performance is 10% less than it should be. So 2% dehydration is a 10% drop in performance. Now we've also got fibre in our diet. Fibre is really important for keeping your digestive system working well. So making sure you go to the toilet regularly. So that's the end of this slideshow. Make sure you get all the notes down.